So I actually haven't made a full regular matchup chart for quite a while. I think I made one a few months ago where it was like a speculative matchup chart, but I wasn't exactly confident in a lot of stuff because a lot of the placings were based off of speculation and not necessarily how things were actually going to pan out offline. That's not going to be the case with today's. Today's, I'm a lot more confident in most of it. Way more.
Yes! Show me your moves.
I'm gonna start with the obvious. This poor character gets absolutely fucked by Falcon. It's bad. I don't think I'm gonna put it worse than this, just because K Rool does have good speed. He does have good punishes on us, and he kind of edgeguard us effectively. But literally everything this character can do to us, we can do so much worse to him. And then we can also just do so many things to him that he just can't do to us at all. If we get this character off stage, good chance he's dying. At any percent, as long as you know what to do. It's not unrealistic to zero death him off of one touch. We have better mobility, better disadvantage. We maintain our advantage better. Tough times for the Croc. I don't know about Ganondorf. Like, part of me thinks it should be +2, but another makes me think it should be +1. Like, we can realistically touch him once and he explodes, but he can kind of do the same to us way more effectively than K Rool can. He edgeguards us extremely well. I think I'm just going to do +1, honestly. Let's talk about ZSS. She's definitely a -1. There is no way in hell we go even in this matchup. It's just too hard to hit her. And even when we do, we don't usually get a crazy amount out of it. But at least we can kill her a lot earlier than she can kill us, assuming she doesn't get Nair Flip Kick or Gimp us. So as long as you can avoid Nair Flip Kick at lower percents and avoid getting gimped, we can live a good bit longer. We can get early-ish kills sometimes. But a lot of our better combos are borderline impossible to get on her. So we kind of just have to nickel and dime her, and she just does it better because she wins neutral and can edgeguard us, whereas we can't really edgeguard her for the most part. To the 2D bastard. I think this is still our only -2 matchup. Now that I've had time to like play all of our losing matchups offline against good players, I can say with confidence that Game & Watch is in a league of his own. This matchup sucks. He wins neutral quite dominantly. He edgeguards us extremely effectively. He ledge traps us extremely effectively. Meanwhile, we can't really do any of that to him. The only things we really have in this matchup are that we're way faster, so sometimes you can just get movement reads. And also, if you get like a hard read, you can kill him pretty early. But we generally have to take tons of risks just to maybe win neutral, and it maybe not even mean much because he just FBs out of shield or whatever. Out of everything. Alright, someone mentioned Luigi, so let's talk about Luigi real quick. It's very winnable. We do have a decent advantage state on him. We can edgeguard him pretty well, whereas for the most part, he's not really going to edgeguard us too much. And obviously, we have a massive speed advantage. It's just that the punish game differential is so massively skewed in favor of Luigi that every tiny little thing that goes wrong is just awful for us. It's not unrealistic to get zero deaths by this character off of minuscule mistakes. Also, while we have a good advantage state on him, we generally have to get reads with it. Whereas Luigi just doesn't. He just hits you and you take 1,000,000 damage and die. And you kind of just have to be like, well, I guess this is my life now. Like, his are just straight up combos, whereas we have to get reads. Let's do Chrom while I'm thinking about it. So I think this matchup is a little bit better than the Roy one. I'll place Roy at the same time while I'm at it. But I think the reason there's a notable difference between the Chrom and Roy matchup is with Chrom, he can't quite kill us as early as Roy can. And he's also way harder for us to edgeguard. And even something just as simple as those two things alone is enough to make a big difference in the matchup. Because we can kill Chrom off stage quite a bit more consistently than Roy. And he also doesn't quite kill us as early, so we get like 1 or 2 more chances in neutral per stock to get him off stage and secure those stocks, which makes a big difference. I think we slightly lose to Roy. It's not the worst, but we definitely lose. Obviously, we can combo him a little bit harder than he can combo us generally, but while he might not be able to combo us as hard, I think his advantage state on us is better when there aren't combos, just because of how safe a lot of his stuff is in having a sword. Roy wins neutral pretty solidly and can kind of just mash on us if he gets close. We can deal with that with Raptor Boost or like parrying, but it's definitely hard. And we can edgeguard him pretty effectively, but to be honest, on a somewhat separate note, the tech checking buff matters so much less than I thought it did at first. I'm going to be completely honest. From my experience, virtually the entire cast can still effectively tech check Falcon. It's just harder. So because of that, it doesn't change matchups anywhere near as much as I thought it was going to. Instead of just getting spiked for free off of it like we used to, now they generally have to do something weaker. But a lot of the time it pushes us far enough off stage to where we don't have any options anyway and just end up dying anyway. It just prolongs our suffering, usually. Alright, who mentioned Olimar? We'll do that next. God, I've got to be blind. Oh, here he is, here he is. Alright, I think this matchup's a solid even. So one thing that'll help you a lot in this matchup as Falcon is to rely specifically on ignoring Pikmin a lot of the time if they're on you in favor of grabbing him. Or not necessarily ignoring them, but being willing to be hit by Pikmin while you're running in to grab him, and it helps so much for your grounded game. Obviously his punish game on us is incredible. Same with ours on him though. We can't combo him as hard as he can combo us, usually. But we're able to just kill him earlier off of raw hits. So it usually doesn't matter as much. What about Diddy? Okay. I think we slightly lose this one, but it's not so bad. He definitely wins neutral really effectively. But one thing that makes me not really mind this matchup so much is, yeah, we lose it, but if we're smart about it, we can kind of live forever and have a million chances to play neutral. Sure, all of those neutral interactions are going to be in Diddy's favor, but at least we get a ton of opportunities to play the game, which I always like personally. And if you have a good item game, Falcon with a banana is horrifyingly good. We can't really edgeguard him, but he doesn't usually edgeguard us that much either, so eh. Ike dead even? Nah. I think we beat him. Not by much, but I do think Falcon wins the matchup. Sure, he has like Nair stuff, but honestly, if you're smart with your Nair counterplay and you have a good punish, or rather you just have a good punish game in general, for the most part, when we hit Ike, he's going to just take so much more than when he hits us. And we have a big mobility advantage. Both characters can edgeguard each other pretty well, but I find Falcon can generally edgeguard Ike a little bit harder than vice versa. Although he ledge traps us more effectively than we ledge trap him. My thoughts on Joker vs. Falcon? I think we slightly lose it, but it's not so bad. It's surprisingly hard to combo this character. I guess while I'm thinking about it, we'll put in Cloud. I think Cloud wins neutral. But we generally have a better punish game on him and can edgeguard him more effectively than he can edgeguard us. So this is one of those classic, we lose neutral, but we outpunish him enough to where we're able to compensate for that through a combination of our combos and offstage. Although he still has a pretty good combo game on us, he can still get early kills on us. And he can edgeguard us, although he generally won't often. I think it's a comfortably even matchup. Seph even? I actually don't think so. I think we slightly lose this matchup. Although you have to play a good enough Sephiroth to understand why. But to be honest, this matchup feels kind of like the Min matchup. Except we can't edgeguard him. Like, there's that massive range advantage. He kind of just has... He's almost impossible to hit in neutral if he's just playing smart. We can't really edgeguard him at all, whereas he just destroys us off stage. Like, it's terrible. It's not unrealistic to die at almost any percent off stage against this character. And if they're smart with their DI, we don't usually combo him too well either. We kind of just have to get like hard reads with need or other stuff to be able to get kills. Wait, where's the Bowser Jr. one? That's like the epitome. That's like a good example of what I was thinking of. I think this matchup's even, but I'm not particularly good at it. So I feel less comfortable fighting a Bowser Jr. in tournament than I feel fighting a Diddy or Joker, even though we lose those matchups. He's kind of like Discount Sonic, except his combo game is way, way scarier. Like, his punish game on us is actually kind of stupid. If you've ever played a good Bowser Jr. before, as Falcon, like, it's not unrealistic to get 0 to 60 off of, like, a grab. And it's easy. On top of that, he has pretty solid mobility. And he has the range advantage, too. Although, we're better at getting combos outside of grab. We can edgeguard him a lot better than he can edgeguard us. And we're generally able to threaten kill moves in neutral way better than he can. He kind of just does way better damage. And then just puts us in at kill percent almost immediately. And then we kind of just win the rest of the time. But that original advantage is just spooky. And the advantages we have elsewhere are not really that big of a deal. So it's probably evenish. Alright. I don't think this matchup's that bad. I think, obviously, his combo game on us is better than ours on him. But in general, we do have some things that are really, really good against him, like Raptor Boost, Dash Attack, and Up Smash. Up Smash is actually such a big deal in this matchup. But yeah, obviously he edgeguards us way harder than him, but we do have a range advantage against Pikachu, and we can kill him so much earlier off of raw hits that if you're smart with your spacing, you kind of force Pikachu to be really careful, and you can just threaten kills in so many positions that it makes it surprisingly scary for Pikachu if the Falcon really knows the matchup. But you have to be very good at this matchup to feel that way. If you're not really comfortable against Pikachu, you will likely get throttled. Speaking of matchups along those lines, I think Pichu is a similar thing, probably. Pichu doesn't really combo us as hard as Pikachu does, which might sound kind of weird, but it's true. Like, once you learn to SDI lightning loops, his combo game on us becomes so much worse than Pikachu's combo game on us. Also, we have even more of a range advantage, which makes Raptor Boost and Up Smash way, way better. He has the up air thunder stuff, which is pretty scary, but I mean, we just kill this character absurdly early. We don't need to win neutral that many times. We have a big range advantage. We can kind of stuff him out a lot if we want to. Obviously, if Pichu gets in, it's really annoying because he has better frame data and is tiny. Also, Pichu can edgeguard us effectively, whereas we can't really edgeguard Pichu back. But we can ledge trap him pretty effectively with 2-frame down airs. Our ledge traps are really good on him with jab, up B, and even like back airs, all killing really early. And we generally just force Pichu to play extremely safe, extremely precisely, where every tiny mistake just is brutal. I think this matchup's even. Both these characters can kind of destroy each other, but it's not really ever a given. I think one thing that Falcon has to do in this matchup is not necessarily camp, but you need to take your time a lot. You have to be willing to just not go in just because he has projectiles. Because it's worth remembering that you can dodge literally all of his projectiles easily on reaction if you're specifically seeking them out. So because of that, sure, camping against him might seem bad on paper, but playing defensively until you have reads on him is kind of what you need to be doing. And then once you do get those reads, just obviously push them as far as you can because Rob's fat. Also, if you can get your hands on Gyro, Falcon with Gyro is horrifyingly good. What do I think about the Ness matchup? Okay, I'll talk about that one real quick. Where is he? Okay. I think it's even, personally. So this matchup is volatile, but neither character really has, like, super free big combos on each other. Both characters kind of just have oppressive advantage state on each other and, like, decent combos for the most part. So because of that, being able to effectively mix up your options as either character is everything. If you start making bad decisions in disadvantage or in maintaining your own advantage state, that's usually one of the things that makes this matchup really different. PK Thunder might seem free, but I'm going to be completely honest. The best counterplay for PK Thunder is usually to recover extremely low on purpose, get hit by the PK Thunder on purpose, and then ledge tech wall jump and hit him with up B. That's something that you can very realistically do to reset neutral against Ness. And you can tech that shit forever, and it's pretty easy to tech too. Something that helps a lot is for Ness's down smash, you have to realize that they specifically have to release down smash when you go into it, or the second hit will not connect and you'll fall out of it. So what makes that important is if you can get hit by the first hit of down smash at a point where you think they're not expecting you to, you will automatically fall out and then you can hit them. So because of this, if you're good at mixing up your timings, you can make it way less effective than it might seem at a glance. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about Snick. I don't think this matchup's that bad, but I do think he has a slight edge. He definitely wins neutral. He can punish us pretty effectively, and edge guarding is the main reason we lose this matchup, honestly. I think the matchup would be even if Nikita didn't exist. Nikita is just so bad for us. And literally everything we can do to counterplay Nikita, they have counterplay for. So if they just get a read or you make a bad decision, you just die. And that's kind of it. Also, if the Snake player is good off stage, you're generally not going to get a chance to edgeguard them. You're kind of just going to have to juggle them instead. Thoughts on Byleth? Sure, I'll talk about that one next. So, where is that character? So, I think this matchup is probably even. It doesn't seem like it would be at a glance. But Byleth's punish game on us is really good. Byleth can actually keep us out pretty effectively because of the massive range advantage. Also, they're really, really good at killing us. And they can't really edgeguard us for the most part, but we can't really edgeguard them either. When you combine their massive hitboxes with side B and up B just having a ludicrous grab distance to the ledge, for the most part, we can't really edgeguard this character outside of like getting a super hard read. But they can't really edgeguard us either, so a lot of the time it's just a matchup that's grindy at the ledge, but is otherwise very hard read centric. Sonic next? Sure. Okay. So I've come to realize there are a solid amount of matchups that I think Falcon probably loses on paper that I thought was even before. Not necessarily because I thought of the matchup itself as being even, but I was just good enough at it to where it felt even. But the more I've talked to like all the different Sonic players and all the other top Falcons, I've realized that I'm just disproportionately good at the matchup, which makes it seem like an even matchup. But even then, it's not that bad. Honestly, Sunito told me he thinks I'm the best player in the world at fighting Sonic. But while Sonic definitely wins neutral, we can counterplay everything he does. Like, if he just wants to spin dash camp aggressive, just focus on spin dash camping, we can just gain stage control, and we can wall him out effectively. If you don't really want to get hit by a lot of his combos, you can platform camp a bit. If he like does one of those spin dashes where he spin dashes past you and then has to turn back around, you can beat that out pretty reliably with Raptor Boost and Falcon Kick. If they try to just up B out of everything, you can juggle them effectively with up airs. You can use Falcon Kick and a lot of our aerials to beat out spin dash pretty effectively. But for the most part, you can't really approach him with any kind of patterns at all. If you consistently approach Sonic in any particular way, they can just invincibility spin dash through it and just start combos. And we can occasionally edgeguard Sonic, but our edgeguarding on him is not great. Whereas he edgeguards us pretty effectively and wins neutral. Also, if they're good at DIing, if their DI is good and they up B out of everything, for the most part, we're not really going to be able to get cheesy like kill confirms on them either for the most part. Like, you're not going to be able to just pin them down and like do Nair 1 into knee with any level of reliability. Because he's just zooming around everywhere or spin dashing. So because of that, we're not really going to be able to get a lot of our combos into kills. We kind of just have to nickel and dime him if the Sonic knows what they're doing. And Sonic is just better at nickel and diming. But either way, we still can kill him earlier. We still can combo him pretty hard if we're smart about getting the right hits. And we can still counterplay everything he does. Okay, so let's see. Ryu is probably even. Where is he? I think this matchup's even, personally. He can keep us out effectively. He has a good punish game on us. And he obviously ledge traps us extremely well, but we can combo him harder than he can combo us. Obviously, we have a massive mobility advantage. But if Ryu gets in, his hitboxes are generally going to beat ours. And he's able to play a lot of different ranges pretty effectively because of his good hitboxes and projectiles. For the most part, both characters can counterplay pretty much everything the other does. It's just about who's able to play it better, who's able to maximize their punishes, and having good reads. Brings me next to the Kin matchup. I think we slightly lose it. But I don't think it's so bad, personally. He can't really keep us out like Ryu can. But in exchange, his combo game on us is way, way better. And that combined with his much better mobility makes fighting this character up close really, really hard. Assuming we don't have to, we can still do fine against him. We can platform camp him really effectively. We can combo him extremely well. I think it's only a very slight losing matchup, but I do think it's in his favor. Now, on a similar note, I think Terry's in basically the same boat, where both he's like an even more mobile version of Ken, but he loses some of the, he loses some combo ability, but in exchange he has like much better hard reads for kills. And it's much harder to platform camp. He's like a less polarizing Ken with the matchup, basically. I think we beat Bowser, but it's really not that bad for him. We, obviously we combo him absurdly hard. We can edge guard him effectively, but he can combo us decently well. Has amazing advantage state against us. Absolutely amazing. And he ledge traps us way harder than we ledge trap him, while also being able to edge guard us effectively. If we didn't have such ludicrous combos on him, it would probably be even, honestly. Let's talk about Greninja. Think this matchup's even. I think that before the pandemic, I think we lost it, but obviously Falcon's a lot better now. Either way, I think I think Greninja has a slight advantage in neutral, but for the most part, both characters combo each other around the same hard. I think Falcon's just able to kill earlier, which is able to compensate for us losing neutral by a little bit, but even then it's not so bad. Both characters can edge guard each other pretty well. Both characters can ledge trap each other pretty well, and both characters have a lot of similar tools in neutral. I think Greninjas are just a little bit better in neutral, but meanwhile we're able to kill him off of raw hits quite a bit earlier, so it balances out. Let's see, do planned? Sure. I think we win, but it's not by much. We can't necessarily combo him as hard as you would expect. His weird weight and fall speed, combined with being able to Patooey out of stuff, and having a smaller profile than you'd expect for a character of his weight, makes comboing him harder than you would expect. But for the most part, he can't really combo us particularly hard either. This is a surprisingly nickel and dime oriented matchup for both characters. And we can edge guard him decently as well. Alright. Someone mentioned Shulk. Yeah, let's do that. It's not that bad, but I do think we lose. For the most part, this is also a surprisingly nickel-dime oriented matchup because of shield art. And just his changing arts making getting big combos on him generally pretty hard. But I think it slightly favors him because of the offstage game. Neutral is probably evenish or maybe slight Shulk favor. But he's able to tech check us really effectively, especially with Smash Art. Oh my god. With Smash Art and Up B, I think he has an edge in edge guarding. And maybe a very slight one in neutral, which puts it in -1. Let's see, now that I'm thinking about others, let's do Inkling. I think we lose this one slightly, but it's so much better than it used to be. Something that helped us a lot in this matchup is Raptor Boost being better, and Up Smash being way better at killing. Hitting this character is surprisingly annoying, but we can actually take advantage of their inability to approach pretty effectively. Because of our mobility, if we want, we can kind of just camp them too. It's super lame, but that's just kind of the nature of the matchup. I feel like you have to camp Inkling to an extent. Mega Man? I think we beat Mega Man, personally. It's not by that much, but I don't think Mega Man wins neutral enough to compensate for us comboing him way harder. And while he can't really combo us that effectively, he does have a good advantage state. But for the most part, our hits just matter way more, even though we don't usually combo him that hard. And while he can edge guard us better than we can edge guard him, we can actually edge guard him pretty decently if you know what you're doing in it. Plus, you can have a lot of different ways of going through pellets with Nair, with Falcon Kick. Or you can just ignore them and, like, throw out hitboxes. Like, you can, if he, like, does the thing where he delays his pellets, you can mash through it with jab or whatever. Palutena? Sure. I think we slightly lose. Not the worst by any means, but I literally think we lose this matchup just because of Nair. If Nair wasn't so good, I think it would be even. But spacing around Nair is so hard for Falcon. It being a disjoint makes it beat out almost everything. Literally everything has changed since the nerf. If a matchup is something we lose now, you can just assume it was worse before. Let's see. Ice Climbers. That's a fun one. I think it's even. Falcon's pretty good at separating them. We can kill Nana extremely effectively. And obviously we beat up on Sopo. And we have a decent amount of options for beating out pretty much everything they can do. But if they get the right hits on us, it's not unrealistic to explode at just about any percent. This character can realistically 0 to death us, and it's pretty scary. We're at just the right weight class and height to where basically everything they could possibly want to do works and is scary. Little Mac? We beat Little Mac. It's not the worst for Mac, but I feel like for the most part, everything Mac can do to us, we can kind of just do to him, but a little bit better. Like, I think our ground game is around the same good as his, or a little bit better in the matchup. Except we're just able to combo harder, and we can edge guard him pretty well. Although he can edge guard us with down smash reads. He does have a good punish game on us, and he does have a good neutral against us. I just feel like everything he does to us, we just do a little bit better. Which leads to an edge. Bayonetta? I think it's even. This matchup, there's a vast damage differential, where her combos do way, way more damage than ours do on her. But for the most part, we're able to compensate for that by our combos killing way more reliably. Although we can't really edgeguard her where she can edgeguard us, but I think we also have a slight advantage in neutral. What about Richter? Sure. This matchup might be even. I'm honestly not... This is one of the matchups I'm the least sure about, honestly. I think it's either even or a very slight our favor, but I'm not sure. Let's see, Link. You know, I'll do all the links while I'm at it, actually. So, put Link there. Young Link here. Where's Toon Link? I think that neutral is a little harder in the Young Link matchup than it is in the Link one. But Link's punish game on us is scarier than Young Link's, in my opinion. Sure, Young Link has like those big combos, but he has a harder time killing us by a lot. Whereas Link kills us extremely well. Also, Link's edgeguarding on us is way scarier than Young Link's on us. Alright, while I'm thinking about it, Pokemon Trainer. So I think we probably slightly lose it just because of Squirtle. I think the Ivysaur matchup is even, and I think we beat Charizard. But they're going to be Squirtle most of the time anyway, so it's probably very slight their favor just because of Squirtle. Winning neutral against Squirtle is a pain. On top of that, they combo us extremely effectively and can actually edgeguard us pretty well too by switching to Ivysaur. Do DK? Sure. I think this matchup's only +1 as well, for similar reasons to the Ganon one. It seems like it would be worse on paper. I feel like if the DK is good enough, then their punish game on you is going to be almost as brutal as yours on them. On top of that, they have a range advantage, they have pretty good mobility. Their grab game on us is crazy. They can edge guard us extremely well. To be honest, the main person that changed my mind on this matchup was Chunky Kong. I came to realize that one of the reasons why this matchup seemed worse for DK than it really was because I felt like I was just a better player than the DKs I was playing against, on top of it being a winning matchup. And then I played Chunky, and I felt like he was like one of the first DKs that was good enough at the matchup to be like, whoa. We'll do this Mario skin for the culture. I think we slightly lose it, but it's not that bad. I think we slightly lose this matchup, mainly just because his combo game on us is so much better than his combo than ours on him. And he can also edge guard us really effectively with a combination of tech checking with forward air, going off stage with cape, and back air. I think more Marios would do better in the matchup if they just went off stage way more. Like, Dark Wizzy is like the Mario that really knows what he's doing in this matchup, and it shows. Like, Dark Wizzy will go off stage and cape a lot, and like do tech checking with forward airs. And those two things in combination with back air make offstage pretty rough, whereas it's a lot harder for us to edge guard him. I do think that we might have a very slight edge in neutral, honestly. Sure, he has the frame data advantage, but if you're really smart with your mobility and better range, it can be pretty hard for Mario to even get those hits in the first place. But I feel like Mario has a notable punish game advantage and notable offstage advantage as well, and it makes a pretty big difference. Alright, that reminds me of Dr. Mario. To be honest, I'm not really sure about this one. I'll just say it's probably +1. Like, if we arguably have a neutral advantage against Mario, we sure as hell have a big one on Doc. Mewtwo? Sure. I think this one's even. But yeah, Mewtwo even. I think both characters have really good neutral on each other. Both characters have really good punishes on each other. And both characters can honestly edge guard each other pretty well too. They just do it in somewhat different ways. Mewtwo does his neutral with arguably better mobility than us, better range, and a great projectile. We do it through moves that are... We have a much larger amount of moves that are able to threaten combos, which makes him have to be a lot more careful with his decisions. We can obviously kill him super early, but while he can't kill us as early technically, he also combos us extremely well and has tons of setups into early kills on us. So it's probably even. Wario? I'm really not sure about this one. I want to say it's even, but I'm not sure about this one. You know what? I'm gonna add two separate tiers. I'm gonna add 2 more tiers. Give me a second. All right, now with that out of the way, there we go. That looks a lot better, personally. Marth Falcon is probably even. Neutral can be kind of annoying, and they can edge guard us pretty well. But he has kind of a hard time killing us unless he gets hard reads with like tip or forward smash or stuff like that. Although if he does get those reads, his punish game on us is stupid. Not really sure. I need to play this matchup more. Speaking of matchups I need to play more, I'm going to put Lucina here as well. I'm not so sure about this one. It's kind of just like a worse version of the Marth matchup, but I definitely need to play it more. Yoshi? Sure. I think this one's a solid even, personally. We have a really good combos on each other, although ours are really frame tight, so if your execution's not on point, it's going to feel way worse than it actually is. Both characters can actually edge guard each other pretty decently. You can like footstool Yoshi, and it works really well. Back air, down air, and knee are all pretty good against him. And if you're good at parrying eggs, that helps a lot too. I think this matchup is... I kind of lean towards it being even, but I'm not really sure, honestly. I also haven't played any top Peaches offline since the changes, so I'm not entirely sure how much has changed. But I lean towards even. But because I don't necessarily have, like, good data on it, I'm just gonna put her here for now. Alright. Corrin. There we go. We definitely beat this character for sure. She kind of has a hard time fighting us in neutral, and we also have a better punish game on her. Both characters can edgeguard each other pretty well. Probably around the same well, in fact. And she does have, like, decent punishes and also, obviously outranges us by quite a bit, but our mobility advantage combined with our combos is enough to push it in our favor. Let's see, who is I gonna do next? Oh yeah, Pythra. Or, the Beyblades. That's what I prefer to call them, personally. It's probably slight their favor. Neutral is hard. And we can't really combo, Mythra very well. And then, of course, they can kind of just switch to, kill mode whenever they feel like it. I think if we could combo Mythra better, this matchup would be even. I think this matchup is their favor literally just because of Foresight. Foresight... Alright, you know, let's do the Miis while I'm thinking about it. Mii Brawler, I think it's even. Mii Brawler is kind of like a more linear Fox, but with better kill power. Mii Gunner, I think we slightly win that one. They can't really do enough damage to make up for... They can't really do enough... Get enough damage in neutral to compensate for our better combo game. Mii Sword Fighter. I'm gonna put that here. I lean towards it being +1, but... I really don't think that, this matchup's even, but I also just don't have enough data on it, honestly. So while on paper I could see it maybe being even, my own experience hasn't really been that. So I'm just putting him here since I'm not sure. Let's see, let's do Hero while we're at it. I think we win this matchup pretty decently. It's basically just a more volatile version of the Robin matchup. His neutral is worse, but when he like gets good reads or good RNG, it's way worse than anything Robin can do to us. So it's not that bad. I mean, obviously, because we win. I think we beat Robin as well for pretty much the same reasons as Hero. It's just less volatile. Like, they're able to keep us out a little bit. Their neutral's better, but they're quite a bit less explosive. Okay, so I think Fox is even. I think Falco's even. And I think Wolf is even. Which is kind of funny, honestly. I think all of them are even. So the Fox one is, winning neutral can be kind of hard, but we have good counterplay for pretty much everything he can do in neutral. And we also have notably bigger hitboxes. We can also edgeguard him pretty well. And we were able to get raw kills on him pretty effectively. Although we have a surprisingly hard time getting long combos on him. We kind of just have like a lot of 2-piece or 3-piece combos against him. And that's kind of it. But our nickel and diming still means a lot because of how light he is. And our attack's doing good damage. So we don't usually need to win neutral that much, despite our combo game on him being kind of weak. A lot of the time. So Bergman has notably better punishes on us than Fox does. But I don't think he wins neutral. I think neutral in this matchup is pretty even. He has better hitboxes, Phantasm, and Laser. and we have speed. Both characters can edgeguard each other extremely well. Both characters combo each other extremely well. And both characters are very effectively able to combo into their kill moves as well. Both characters have really good advantage state on each other, and both characters have bad disadvantage against each other. But even still, nothing is particularly free for either character. You have to make like good decisions and make reads as both at pretty much all stages of the game. Falcon Falco is a sick matchup. It's one of my favorite in the game. Wolf, I have similar feelings about. We can't edgeguard him as well as we can edgeguard Falco, but he also can't edgeguard us as well as Falco can. But in exchange, his ledge trapping is a lot scarier, and he's able to just get raw kills a lot better. Alright, who have I not... Okay, Dark Pit, I think it's +1. I'll place Pit too while I'm at it. So... I think that both characters have pretty solid neutral against each other. Pit can edgeguard us a little bit better than we can edgeguard him, but we can actually edgeguard the Pits pretty decently through a combination of 2-framing with down air, their up B being super vulnerable, and also we have really good ways of sniping their jumps as well. The main thing that I think edges it out is our combos are a little bit better than theirs. And we're better able to convert our combos into kills as well. It's Steve. So, I personally lean towards this matchup being even-ish, but I know a lot of this top Steves think that they win. So I kind of want to see how more of the other top Falcons do against Steve players. And I want to see how more of the other top Steves do against Falcons. While I'm thinking about it, actually. Let's do Samus and Dark Samus. They're both even. So, I think this matchup's super even. Samus has a surprisingly good punish game on us. Although ours is better than hers on us. I think neutral is pretty even. So while we have a better combo game on her than vice versa, the main thing that makes it even is the fact that her edgeguarding and ledge trapping on us is pretty scary. If it wasn't for that, the matchup would be in our favor. But basically, if you're a Samus player fighting Falcon, go off stage. That's what makes the matchup even for you guys. It's a pretty fun matchup though once both players know what they're doing. Do the pink balloons? Sure. You might be a little bit surprised to see Jigglypuff in even, but this character has surprisingly good tools against us. They can combo us pretty decently, and their edge guarding on us is absolutely brutal. Although obviously we can kill this character stupid early with like up smash and other stuff. Okay, who's next? Let's do Isabel. Oh, DDD. Someone mentioned DDD. I'll do this for them. I don't think that this matchup's that bad. Sure, we combo the shit out of him, but he can actually combo us pretty decently as well. He's got a pretty good advantage state on us. He can edgeguard us quite a bit better than we can edgeguard him. His ledge trapping's good. And he has a lot of solid neutral tools against us, combined with, like, he's got his massive range. His neutral B is really good at beating out a lot of our tools. And he's got some solid movement options with all those jumps, which gives him a lot of mix-ups. Like, it's definitely our favor, but it's very doable for DDD if they know the matchup and play well enough. Who was I talking about before? Oh yes, the villagers. I put them both in the same category, personally. So, neutral can be kind of annoying in this matchup, but I do think it's probably slightly our favor. The main thing that I think wins us this matchup is that our combo game is a lot scarier on them than theirs is on us. I think we would, and we also have a slight advantage in neutral, in my opinion. But the main thing that keeps this matchup not terrible for them is offstage is horrifying. Although for slightly different reasons for both of them. Isabel's got fishing rod, Villagers got bowling ball. Mostly they just go off stage. Alright. Speaking of annoying, this yellow motherfucker right here. Although I actually kind of like the matchup. Pac Man definitely wins neutral. But we have good tools for dealing with pretty much everything they do. We just kind of have to, like, predict it. Which, provided we do, we can get around everything. But it's definitely not the easiest thing to do by any means. For the most part, both characters just kind of have to nickel and dime each other. And we can do it pretty effectively because of how much earlier we kill him than vice versa. So even though he's winning neutral and generally winning the damage war, we just don't need as much damage to kill him. So it balances out. Alright. Next up, let's do Kazuya. I think we beat this character personally. He can kind of just destroy us if he gets a hit, but he has to get the right hit, and a lot of time he won't get that. But we also just kind of, we can 0 to death him too. Not necessarily because we have like true 0 to deaths on him, but because like winning neutral is way easier against him than the other Shotos since his neutral's way worse. Our advantage stand on him is absolutely oppressive. We can edgeguard him extremely well, and we win neutral. It's just that he can absolutely 0 to death us off of one hit with good execution. See, I've already done that. Let's see, let's do Lucas while I'm thinking about it. I think this matchup's even. Neutral can be annoying if you don't know what you're doing, because Lucas honestly has pretty much everything you want in a character. He's got good frame data, he's got good boxing options, good zoning options, great recovery, tons of mix-ups, solid combos, good kill moves. We have a notable range advantage. Obviously, we're quite a bit faster. We have good combos on him. And even though we can't usually chase him off stage effectively, 2-frame down air is really, really good against him. And we can ledge trap this character extremely effectively. Which generally makes it even, in my opinion. Alright, while I'm thinking about it, Banjo. I don't think it's that bad for Banjo. But he has a really hard time keeping up with our damage output. We can't really edgeguard this character for the most part. Whereas he can kind of edgeguard us, which makes it better than it would be otherwise. But this character's damage output is kind of a joke. And then neutral's like even-ish. Alright, who's next? Let's do Meta Knight, actually. I think we beat this character as well by a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but let's see. Who was I thinking about? Okay, let's do Lucario, actually. This character is fucking annoying, but I feel like we win this matchup up until Lucario hits like 100%, and then we lose it. But a lot of the time, he won't even hit 100%. So it's probably a winning matchup overall. Alright, we're going to put Ridley in a +1 as well. I don't think it's the hardest matchup for him. This is probably one of the closer to even ones as far as like the heavies go. Like his punish game on us is a lot scarier than the others. He can edgeguard us pretty well. He's got great mobility, crazy disadvantage state. Or a crazy advantage state, my mistake. How is Min Min? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I think it's even. I used to think that we might slightly lose the matchup, but the recent Min Min nerfs definitely made it a little bit better for us, and then I also just got better at the matchup. I think if you play your advantage state in this matchup, it's not that hard to 0 to death this character. Of course, she can kind of do that to us too. Neutral's annoying, but we have a lot of ways of getting in and just destroying her. And yeah, in people, that's exactly what I'm doing. We destroy this character off stage. Oh my god. Although they destroy us off stage too. For the most part, both characters annihilate each other the moment they get a hit. It's just about who's better at getting the hit. While she has the massive annoying arms, we have a speed advantage and our aerial movement's way, way better. So we actually have decent ways of getting around the arms. Also, it's not unrealistic to parry like her smash attacks on reaction if you're looking for them. Raptor Boost is also pretty great against her as well. Let's see. Damn, these are... Oh, here's one we haven't. I think we slightly beat Duck Hunt, but it's nothing too crazy. So, this is like a lot of the zoning matchups that we win, where getting in can be annoying, but it's actually easier to get in against Duck Hunt than most of the other zoners. But we also don't combo him as well as we combo a lot of the other zoners just because of can. So like neutral can be a little bit annoying, but it's probably even-ish in neutral. But our advantage in both edge guarding and also in damage output leads to us winning the matchup, I think. We're just better able to get damage and kills, and we're better able to edge guard, although he can kind of do it to us as well. Oh, did I not talk about Kirby? Oh, well. Character has good combos on us, but I don't think he really edge guards us that well. He's just kind of annoying in neutral sometimes and gets good combos on us, but we combo him around the same hard, if not better, and are just able to kill him way easier. Kirby down air is not that annoying to play against if you're just good at mixing up your timings and just changing your recovery based on their positioning. They're usually only going to be able to down air you reliably if you're just recovering without using your brain, or you just are far enough off stage to where you can't like mix up your recovery in the slightest. Kirby's aerial mobility is so slow that it's really not hard to just weave around him. Alright, I'm not really entirely sure about Rosa, but I think we might slightly win this. We can't combo her as well as you'd expect because of Luma, her great air dodge, but obviously like a lot of our kill confirms work extremely well on her because she's light and also has a big frame. We can get kills pretty early. We have good counterplay for pretty much everything Luma. We can get around her ledge trapping. We can kind of edge guard her with footstools and back air, but I don't really advise doing it too much. Also, 2-frame down air is pretty good against her. Alright, this matchup is super fun. I love the Sheik matchup personally. So, obviously Sheik wins neutral and can generally combo us harder than we can combo her. Although we can actually combo her pretty decently as well. Her weight class is really good for us to combo. We have good grab follow-ups. Sure, she wins neutral, but we actually have a lot of counterplay for pretty much everything she can do in neutral. To where if you're smart about things, you can still win neutral pretty often if you just make better decisions. It's just a little bit easier for her, I guess, because her neutral's better. But while she has the edge guarding advantage, we have the just get random kills early advantage. Like, we're better able to just get kills off of, like, random reads way easier than she can. So even though she has a slight advantage in neutral and an advantage offstage, we're able to compensate for that with just raw kill power. I think we definitely beat Zelda. Not by that much, but she has a hard time keeping us out sometimes. But mainly what you want to do against Zelda is just get a lead in camp, which sounds really stupid, but her projectiles are so slow that she can't really stop you from doing it, and she's also just has bad approach options. The way you want to play this matchup optimally is literally just get a lead and camp. It's the best way of dealing with Phantom as well. You can kind of invalidate Phantom if you camp effectively. On top of that, we have a pretty good combo game on her, better than hers on us. We can not particularly edgeguard her well, but we don't really need to because of how strong our ledge trapping is on her. This matchup, you kind of just need to not lose your patience in it, and you'll be fine. That's the main thing that Zelda needs to do if she wants to win the matchup, is just make sure, is try and get us to lose our patience, get really good reads with like some of your kill moves, and edgeguard effectively. Those are like the 3 keys to the matchup with her. Looks like Wii Fit is the last character I haven't done yet. Alright, so I think this matchup's also even. It's so this matchup's really even for a lot of different reasons. Comboing this character is not quite as easy as you might expect, especially if they're smart about using their crouch and good hitboxes in neutral. Especially if they have deep breathing, neutral becomes way harder. They can combo us pretty well if they know their confirms. They can edgeguard us pretty decently. We can edgeguard them pretty decently. Neither character can really combo each other too hard, though. And there's a lot of variance in it because of DI routes. Lots of DI mix-ups being good. Both characters have a lot of escape options for each other. And both characters' advantage state on each other is not too good. This matchup's pretty fun. I think it's super even. Definitely watch out for deep breathing, though. That shit's scary. And their deep breathing combos are horrifyingly good against us. If they were like that the whole time, they would win the matchup, but they don't. Not even close. Alright, I think that's everyone, actually. Cool. Falcon is good, but he still loses plenty of matchups. I think the main thing that changed in my assessment of the character was I came to realize that there were a handful of matchups that I was disproportionately good at, which made me think they were even when we lose. And a few that were the other way around, like the Roy matchup.